Hello, my name is Sarah Jansen. I'm so excited to talk to you today about the topic of creating a strong team culture. Creating a strong team culture is one of the most important things you can do as you are on your path to Diamond. So what does a connected team with a strong culture look like? A connected team is like a river. It's energetic, it's always in motion, it's enticing. People want to jump in and swim around. I love this quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So what does a connected team feel like? It's shiny, it's vibrant, it's warm, and it's welcoming. When new builders are added to our team page on Facebook, I want them to get the feeling that something is different here. I want it to shine with positivity. I want them to immediately feel like they are part of something and part of something big. I just want them to feel welcome and that they belong. A connected team feels energizing, supportive, encouraging, and hopeful. Do you sense a feeling of hope within your team? Is everyone supporting each other and cheering each other on when someone hits a new rank or hits a new milestone? Your team will follow your energy. So if you're struggling to create connection within your team, examine yourself first, because your team is a mirror image of you. There's a phrase that I love, and it's this: your vibe attracts your tribe. So if the majority of your team is low energy, lacking confidence, fearful, and not moving, you first have to take a look at yourself and see why you've attracted this vibe to your team. And then ask yourself what you can do to raise the vibe of your team. It's really simple. First, you have to take care of yourself, because what you pour into yourself will then become available to your team as you pour it back out to them. So here are some things that you can do to keep your energy high as you lead your team. Sleep, good sleep, exercise, eating nourishing foods, morning routine and self-care. There's a book called Miracle Morning that I highly recommend to anyone wanting to reach the rank of Diamond. Personal development. This might be the most important thing that you take care of on your journey, because your rank and your team are only going to grow as fast as you are growing yourself. And lastly, spiritual connection. It's so important to stay grounded and peaceful during the process of shooting for Diamond. So lean on your higher power, whatever that might be, to give you strength and focus every single day. What are you doing to recognize your team? Appreciation is a fundamental human need. Your team wants to know, am I loved? Am I respected? Did you know that 78% of employees say that they would work harder if they felt more appreciated? So believe in your team. Tell them how amazing they are. And if you want to keep them around, if you want to keep them coming back, it's imperative that they feel connected and part of something. They aren't going to go anywhere if they feel those things. Here are some ideas for you if you need ideas for recognition. A new builder welcome package, something to send them with a motivational book, a personal development book, maybe a handwritten note from you, maybe just a small oil. What they're going to feel when they receive that is that they belong and that they are seen. What about mailing cards or gifts for new ranks? There's a company called Send Out Cards that we personally use. We also send a lot of just personally handwritten notes and gifts, but that's really important to let people know that you see them. Rank announcements and graphics within your Facebook group. I love to use the app Rhonna, Rhonna. There's also Snappa and Canva, very simple programs that you can use to create wonderful graphics that recognize people when they hit new ranks. Don't always focus on rank and OV though. Try to give awards for something unique, right? Something, maybe somebody broke through a limiting belief that month and they really had been struggling up to that point. Just figure out some way to recognize them that is not always related to rank or OV. We do something called the Rising Star feature, and it's just a quick video where we feature someone that's really found a lot of success and they've been doing the right income producing activities, and we feature them and ask them lots of questions. And it's just a really great way to help them feel really accepted and loved, and to also get all of their hot tips out to your team. Be really silly with your team. When one of our diamonds hit, we did a diamond dance. and we danced to a song and sang, and however you can recognize them and just keep it fun, it's the best thing you can do. Have you branded your team yet? Creating a feeling of belonging is so important. So creating a consistent and professional look for your team will go a long way. And there are companies that will do this for not expensive. Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com is a great company that you can get logos made. So if you don't have a name for your team and your team doesn't have a team logo, think about doing that. It's really fun for people to feel like they belong and are part of something that is professional and consistent. Speaking of consistency, are you consistent with your team? Because when you're consistent with them, they will be consistent with you. So there's lots of things that I personally do in our team, but one of the ways that I do that is I have discussion groups, as I'm sure many of you do, on Facebook, and we do training calls on the same night every single week. We do Monday night training calls. Let me hop back to those Facebook discussion groups. We have one that's for just all of our leaders, and then we have one that's called Core Leadership, and that's for our silver and up leaders. And then we have a user group that's separate from everything. So those are really, really beneficial, and they're pretty active every single day, and we're just keeping it really high energy and really positive. Those calls that we do every Monday night, sometimes I lead those. I interview new diamonds that have hit. Sometimes I interview cross-line leaders. A lot of times I feature leaders within our group that are really shining in a certain area, and it just gives them just some confidence that they need, and it gives them a little boost. So ask your leaders to help you do that. And then we also have a Zoom that I do for our silvers and up, and also for our platinums and up. So consistency in how you're showing up for your team is so important. And you've heard me mention Zoom here, and I love Zoom. We use Zoom for everything. We use it for individual mentoring, group mentoring, long distance classes, wellness consults, you name it. It's a super powerful way to connect, and it's almost like you're sitting right across the table from them. I also love Periscope. I actually personally do a weekly Q&A on Periscope, but before that, I even had just a channel that was just for my team. So in all of this, if this video stuff scares you, if you're not used to putting yourself on video, it totally means you should do it. Anything that scares you in this business, you know you're on the right track, and that should be the next thing that you do, because video messages are powerful. Your team needs to see you showing up raw and unedited, the real you. Don't make it perfect, just do it. I love the phrase, go ugly early. And if you have a thought that you want to share with your team, just jump on Facebook Live and share your thoughts with them. Are you showing up for them in real life? One of the most powerful things that we've done with our team is to go to them. Much of our team is spread out all over the country. So as we were building to Diamond, we traveled around the country in our RV, and we taught classes. We got them fired up. We had potlucks. We met the spouses and partners. Even if you don't have an RV and you can't leave for an extended amount of time, you can still invest in your team by driving to them or flying to them. It is one of the best investments you can make, is showing up for them in person. When you gather them for a team event, make sure that you do that. Make sure you're gathering your people on a consistent basis for team events. So some of those team events could be local monthly events like business training, maybe group classes, continuing ed for your current wellness advocates, but focus too on social activities, not always just business activities. I love to get our team together just for a night on the town, or maybe a coffee chat, and maybe have a power hour at a coffee house where you're all working on income producing activities. We do a team-wide event once a year, a big retreat. And of course, we also have convention and leadership and wellness summits. There's so many opportunities, but you need to be a promoter. And as Eric Worre says, a relentless promoter of these type of events, not just an announcer of events. Okay, they need to know, your team needs to know that showing up and getting to these events is one of the most important things they can do in their business. And be fun. Are you fun? Do people like being around you? It's kind of a weird question, because I know everyone wants to answer, of course I'm fun. Yes, I'm fun. But if your culture and your team vibe aren't where you want them to be, take a good look at this. Lighten up and laugh more. Have fun with your people, because when they are having fun, they're going to grow faster. And lastly, don't forget to document everything. I was a photographer by trade before I did doTERRA, so I naturally gravitate toward documentation. But if you're one of those people who just doesn't even think to take photos or make a video, you can change. There's hope for you. Just decide that you're going to document everything. You're going to help people remember those emotions that they had at the event. And after an event, when you post 5 to 10 photos of your team having fun together, it not only energizes the people who were there because they feel seen and appreciated, but it also acts as a marketing tool for the next event that you do. Remember what I said about being fun? Well, document all that fun and it's twice as powerful. It's powerful now and it's powerful later when the people are looking back at those photos and videos. So let's recap. Show up for them, show up for your team with high energy and create a warm and welcoming space to grow. Give your team the tools they need. Do training calls, do them consistently in whatever capacity you need to do them. Show up for them in person and facilitate connection and document everything. And if you do these things, you will create a strong team culture and you will easily achieve the rank of